So hello students, my name is Dr. Yatinjeet Kaur and in this video we're going to discuss about hepatobiliary system. Now here first we will discuss about the normal structure of the liver. So see, generally in liver you're going to see lobules are present. These are what? These are the lobules in the liver. These are the liver lobules. Now, at the corner of each lobule, there is a presence of what? There is a presence of portal triad. Now, I will discuss what is this portal triad. And in the center of this lobules, there is a presence of central vein. This is what? This is central vein. And this red color wala, this is what? These are the portal triad. In portal triad, you will see first there is a portal vein. Portal vein is there. Second, you're gonna see hepatic artery. And third, there is a presence of bile duct. So three things are present. See, this is the portal vein, this is the hepatic artery, and this green color is hepatic duct. Green color is bile duct. So green is bile duct, blue is portal vein, and red dot is hepatic artery. So this is how the portal triad is composed of. Now, in liver, there are certain zones. What are those zones? There is zone 1. Zone 1 is there. Then after zone 1, and then there is zone 3. So generally liver में कितने zone है? Zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. This is zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Zone 1 is more close to, repeat. Zone 1 is present near to the portal triad, whereas zone 3 is present near to the central vein. So see, now as I have told you, zone 1 is present where? Zone 1 is near to the portal triad. So it is well oxygenated because in the portal triad there is a hepatic artery. Because of this zone is what? This zone is properly oxygenated. So this is a most oxygenated zone. If we talk about zone 3 is least oxygenated. It is least oxygenated. See, zone 3 कहाँ ज़्यादा present है? Veins के पास, और obviously veins में deoxygenated blood होता है. So this is least oxygenated zone. Okay. Now we'll discuss about injuries to the liver. Injury to liver. The first injury that we're going to discuss is the necrosis. First is necrosis. Cut, repeat. Generally here you're going to see three types of necrosis. One is the zonal necrosis, confluent necrosis, and bridging necrosis. So first we'll discuss about the zonal necrosis. Zonal necrosis. So zonal necrosis mainly क्या? There is, there is zone 1 is there, zone 2, zone 3. Zone 1, zone 2, zone 3 is there. अगर zone 1 में necrosis हो रही है, zone 1 में generally कैसी नेक्रोसिस होती है? दैट इज पेरिपोर्टल नेक्रोसिस. Periportal necrosis is there, and this necrosis, this periportal necrosis is due to phosphorus poisoning or due to viral hepatitis. What is the reason of this? Two reasons are there. First is phosphorus poisoning and other one is viral hepatitis. And in zone 3, if you see necrosis here, this is called as mid-zonal necrosis. Mid-zonal necrosis. Here, this mid-zonal necrosis is due to what? Due to yellow fever. Yellow fever causes what necrosis? Mid-zonal necrosis. And third is, this is called as centrilobular. Centrilobular necrosis. And ये क्यों होती है? Due to 3. यहाँ पे आपने 3 C's याद रखनी. What are those 3 C's? First is due to CCl4. First is due to CCl4. Second C here is chloroform. Chloroform. Third C is what? Alcohol. So in this way, you can remember this centrizonal necrosis. Second necrosis is, that is the confluent, second necrosis is confluent necrosis. Second is confluent necrosis. This confluent necrosis means when more than 2 zones are involved, then we called it as a confluent necrosis. Generally, this confluent necrosis is due to halothane poisoning. This is due to halothane poisoning. So, mark it as a star point. They can ask you question on this. Now, third necrosis is the bridging necrosis. Bridging necrosis. Third necrosis is the bridging necrosis. In case of bridging necrosis, what you're gonna see, first there is involvement of zone 1, then this will progress and it will lead to the zone 2 involvement, and then finally zone 3 is involved. So it is like first zone 1 is involved, then second zone, then third zone. That's why we called it as a bridging necrosis. And generally this bridging necrosis is due to what? Is due to hepatitis. It is due to hepatitis. Okay, it is due to hepatitis. Now, second liver injury is apoptosis. Apoptosis. Okay, generally in case of apoptosis, we see what? We see councilman bodies. We see councilman bodies, or this is also called as what? Apoptotic body. Okay. Third injury here, that is congestion. Congestion. Now, when there is a blockage of central vein, then you're gonna see congestion in the liver. This is due to blockage of central vein. And there are 2 types of congestion. What are those 2 types? First is the acute congestion, other is the chronic congestion. Acute congestion का मतलब क्या है? Due to acute congestion, you're gonna see what? Fatty liver. Fatty liver. But chronic congestion leads to what? That is nutmeg liver or cardiac cirrhosis. Nutmeg liver or cardiac cirrhosis. Now can you see this image? This is the image of nutmeg liver. Nutmeg liver में here can you appreciate this red color over here and this yellow color, this yellow area? This red color is mainly because of sinusoidal dilations. This is what these are, the sinusoidal dilations, and this will gives you the red color. Whereas this yellow color that you're gonna see here, this yellow color, this is due to peripheral fibrosis. Repeat. This is due to what? Periportal fibrosis. There is periportal fibrosis. Because of this, you wanna see which color? It is yellowish whitish color. Okay. Sometimes they just write white color or yellow color. See here you see little bit yellowish. Here you will appreciate this whitish yellowish color. This is what? This is a periportal fibrosis area. We call this condition as a nutmeg liver because इन हिंदी में हम नटमेग को सुपारी बोलते हैं. तो यहाँ पे सुपारी जैसे हो जाता है जो लिवर होता है. सी सुपारी लुक्स लाइक दिस. हियर कैन यू सी दिस रेड कलर एंड दिस वाइटिश कलर. This is mainly because of this we given the name nutmeg to the liver. Now the next topic of discussion here is the hepatitis. Hepatitis क्या है? Hepatitis is a inflammation of the hepatocytes and इसकी etiology पहले देखेंगे हम. Etiology में first hepatitis का cause क्या हो सकता है? It can be due to viral infection, it can be due to bacteria, it can be due to fungi and even autoimmune diseases. Even autoimmunity can cause hepatitis. Fifth cause is alcohol. Sixth cause is any drug. Drugs can also cause hepatitis, like halothane you can say. So these are the etiology that can lead to hepatitis. Okay. Now first we will discuss about the viral factors, that is viral hepatitis. Viral hepatitis. And you know viral hepatitis कितने type की है? There is hepatitis A, B, C, D and E. So total 5 types of viral hepatitis are there. Hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, hepatitis D and hepatitis E. जो hepatitis A है ना, generally it is caused by RNA virus. Okay, this is caused by RNA virus. But if we talk about this hepatitis B, this is called by the DNA virus. DNA वायरस, इसको हम हिपेडिना फैमिली भी बोलते हैं, हिपेडिना वायरस. एंड हेपेटाइटिस सी, दिस इज ऑल्सो कॉज्ड बाय RNA वायरस. हेपेटाइटिस डी इज ऑल्सो कॉज्ड बाय RNA एंड E is also caused by RNA virus. So only hepatitis B is the exception that is caused by the DNA virus. Others are all others are all caused by the RNA virus. Now first we're going to discuss about hepatitis A. Hepatitis A. So hepatitis A जो है ना, इसका जो incubation period है वो कितना आता है? Generally 4 to 6 weeks. Within 1 to 1.5 month ये खुद ही ये treat हो जाएगी. Now if we talk about the spread, जनरली जो हेपेटाइटिस ए है इसका फीको ओरल रूट है, मीन्स ड्यू टू एनी कंटेमिनेशन ऑफ फूड एंड वाटर यू कैन गेट दिस हेपेटाइटिस ए इन्फेक्शन. सो स्प्रेड इज फीको ओरल रूट. Spread is by fecal-oral route. Now how you can diagnose this hepatitis A virus? For the diagnosis you can see hepatitis A virus in stool. Second, you can repeat. there is a presence of anti-hepatitis A virus antibodies in the blood. Okay, so this is how you can diagnose. And if they ask you the prognosis, so generally the prognosis here is good. Prognosis is good. Now next virus that we're going to discuss is the hepatitis B virus. Hepatitis B virus. Now we told this virus is caused by DNA or Hepedna viruses. What is the incubation period here? Incubation period is generally 30 to 180 days. Okay, such a long incubation period. And if we talk about the spread, A का था feco-oral route, but this is having horizontal as well as vertical spread. Horizontal and vertical spread. Horizontal spread मतलब जैसे कभी आपने किसी पेशेंट में ब्लड ट्रांसफ्यूज किया और जो आपने ब्लड ट्रांसफ्यूज किया वो ब्लड में हेपेटाइटिस बी वायरस था. So this kind of transmission through the blood products, we called it as a horizontal we called it as a horizontal transmission, whereas vertical transmission means if the mother is having the hepatitis and she is pregnant, now this mother can transmit the virus to the baby, and this kind of transmission we called it as a vertical transmission. So horizontal means क्या है? Spread via blood products, and vertical मतलब क्या है? From mother to fetus. From mother to fetus. Got it? Now, if the mother is infected, there can be the spread of hepatitis B to the fetus. Now, in this condition, what you can do? For this, you have to give hepatitis B immunoglobulins within 12 hours, or you can say less than 12 hours में आपको hepatitis B immunoglobulins देनी है. Second, what you can do? You have to vaccinate this baby. So, hepatitis B vaccines. और ये जनरली हम कब देते हैं? फर्स्ट 0 डोज ऑन द डे ऑफ बर्थ यू हैव टू गिव, सेकेंड इज ऑन द 6th week, एंड थर्ड इज ऑन द 10th week. So 3 doses are there for hepatitis B virus. Now, third route of transmission is, first is horizontal, second is vertical, third route is the sexual route. For example, if the partner is infected and from via the sexual contact, that partner can transfer this hepatitis B virus to the other partner. So this is the most common overall. This transmission is most common overall worldwide. ऐसी transmission cut repeat worldwide. Okay. Fourth transmission is by needle pricking. For example, आप हॉस्पिटल में पेशेंट्स को डील कर रहे थे और एक पेशेंट था जिसको हेपेटाइटिस बी थी. व्हेन यू आर टेकिंग द सैंपल, आपको नीडल लग गया उसका. तो इन दिस केस व्हाट यू नीड टू डू, you have to take immunoglobulin as soon as possible. Okay, so needle pricking can also transmit hepatitis B virus. And when you got this needle prick, what you have to do? You have to take hepatitis B virus immunoglobulin as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Okay. Now, there are different kind of antigen and antibody in hepatitis B virus. First, we will discuss about the different antigen. So, in hepatitis B virus, there are mainly 3 antigen. What are those 3 antigen? First is the surface antigen. Surface antigen. Second one is the envelope antigen. And third one is the core antigen. 3 kind of antigen. Now how we gonna represent this? This is hepatitis B surface antigen, hepatitis B envelope antigen, hepatitis B core antigen. Okay. Now if we talk about this hepatitis B surface antigen, so see, this surface antigen, this is the first antigen that is going to be positive in case of hepatitis B virus infection. Okay. Now see, अब जब आपको हेपेटाइटिस बी की इन्फेक्शन हुई तो क्या होगा? ऑब्वियसली लिवर फंक्शन विल बी डीअरेंज्ड. तो यहाँ पे आपको जब हेपेटाइटिस बी एंटीजन पॉजिटिव होगा, यू विल सी वन मोर फाइंडिंग. यहाँ पे जो SGPT लेवल्स हैं, दे विल, here the SGPT level will rise and this will leads to jaundice. Okay. Now the second antigen is the hepatitis B envelope antigen. Generally ये antigen क्या बताएगा? If this antigen is present, this represent replication and infectivity. This is a marker for replication and infectivity. Now the third antigen is the core antigen, hepatitis B core antigen. सी, ये एक ऐसा एंटीजन है जो कि आपको ब्लड में नहीं मिलता. यू नेवर गोना सी दिस एंटीजन इन ब्लड. ओके. नाउ विल टॉक अबाउट द एंटीबॉडीज हियर. व्हाट आर द एंटीबॉडीज? एंटीबॉडीज. सो वैसे ही हमारे पास 3 एंटीबॉडीज हैं. क्या क्या एंटीबॉडीज हैं हमारे पास? फर्स्ट इज एंटी हेपेटाइटिस बी सरफेस एंटीबॉडी, अदर इज एंटी हेपेटाइटिस बी एनवेलप एंटीबॉडी, थर्ड वन इज एंटी हेपेटाइटिस बी कोर एंटीबॉडी. So there are 3 antibodies. Okay. Now this hepatitis B surface antigen antibody, this hepatitis B surface antigen antibody, this antibody is generally present in cured patient. इस patient को hepatitis B हुआ but वो अभी क्योर हो गया, आपने सारा ट्रीटमेंट किया, अब नाउ द पेशेंट इज फाइन. व्हेन यू टेक द ब्लड सैंपल ऑफ दिस पेशेंट, यू विल सी द एंटी हेपेटाइटिस बी सरफेस एंटीजन एंटीबॉडी इज पॉजिटिव. सेकेंड, ये और किस केस में पॉजिटिव होगी? इफ द पेशेंट इज वैक्सीनेटेड. इफ द पेशेंट इज वैक्सीनेटेड, then also you gonna see this anti hepatitis B surface antigen antibody is positive. Now the second antibody is anti hepatitis B envelope antigen antibody. This antibody is generally a marker of decreased replication and decreased infectivity. See, जब हम एनवेलप एंटीजन की बात कर रहे थे सिर्फ, तब हमने बोला ये जो एनवेलप एंटीजन है ये रेप्लिकेशन और इन्फेक्टिविटी बताता है. ठीक है. नाउ अगर हम एंटीबॉडी की बात करें, अगर एंटीबॉडी बन गई, एनवेलप एंटीबॉडीज आर देयर, सो वो क्या बताएंगे कि अभी रेप्लिकेशन और इन्फेक्टिविटी कम हो गई है. सो इट इज अ मार्कर ऑफ decrease replication and decrease infectivity. Third antibody is anti-HBC antibody, antigen antibody. This is hepatitis B कोर एंटीजन एंटीबॉडी. ये जो हेपेटाइटिस बी कोर एंटीजन एंटीबॉडी होती है ना, दिस इज द फर्स्ट एंटीबॉडी गोइंग टू अपीयर इन दिस केस. दिस इज द फर्स्ट एंटीबॉडी टू अपीयर इन ब्लड. ओके. सो फर्स्ट एंटीजन पूछे तो कौन था? हेपेटाइटिस बी सरफेस एंटीजन. एंटीबॉडी पूछे तो हेपेटाइटिस बी core antibody is the first one. Now, see, I will draw one graph to show you how these antibodies is gonna rise. So, here on one side I am drawing the incubation period. This side represent the incubation, and here you gonna see the time of infection. Okay, this is the time of infection. Now I have told you the first antigen to be rise, that is what? The surface antigen. So here I am drawing the surface antigen. This is the surface antigen. Here this is a window period. विंडो पीरियड मतलब क्या है? इन्फेक्शन है बट सिम्टम्स नहीं आ रहे हैं, ठीक है. दिस इज अ विंडो पीरियड. नाउ सी, सेकेंड जो एंटीजन है वो राइज करेगा, दैट इज व्हाट? दैट इज हेपेटाइटिस एनवेलप एंटीजन. दिस इज आवर हेपेटाइटिस एनवेलप. Okay, so now see, this blue one is the hepatitis B envelope antigen. This purple one is hepatitis B surface antigen. And I have already told you, जो core antigen होता है वो present नहीं होता in the blood. Now एंटीबॉडीज की अगर बात करें तो फर्स्ट एंटीबॉडी कौन सी थी जो राइज हो रही थी? दैट इज हेपेटाइटिस core antibody. So you gonna see this is what? This is the hepatitis core antibody. Okay. Second antibody जो after C antibody बनेगी, that is surface antibody. Surface antibody is the second antibody that you wanna see जो rise होगी. Repeat. जो surface antibody है, this is the second antibody that is gonna rise after core antibody. And last में कौन सी antibody बनेगी? That is our hepatitis E antibody or envelope antibody. So you wanna see last में क्या बन रहा है? This hepatitis B E antibody. Okay, so this graph you need to remember, okay, because they can ask you a question on based on this graph. Now next we're gonna discuss about one table that you need to cram. Okay, so we'll draw a table. Now see, this is the table and I have drawn this hepatitis surface antigen, then anti-hepatitis surface antibody, then envelope antigen, envelope antibody, and then anti-core antibody. Why I haven't mentioned about hepatitis C antigen, core antigen? Because here I have told you already, जो surface core antigen होता है ना hepatitis B virus का, that is not going to be present in the blood. So see, if in the blood report this hepatitis B surface antigen is positive and this envelope antigen is positive along with IgM antibody, then what is your diagnosis? In this case, we called it as a acute hepatitis B infection. When IgM antibody is present in the blood, this is a case of acute infection. And when IgG antibody is present, that is a that is what? That is a chronic infection. So here IgM is present, and moreover the antigen for S and E is both present. So it is an acute hepatitis B infection. Now second case is there is a presence of envelope antibody and IgM antibody. Now what is your diagnosis here? This is a case presentation of the window period. This is the window period of hepatitis B infection. Third case is when this hepatitis B surface antigen is positive, the hepatitis B envelope antigen is positive, and here if we talk about the core antibody, now the core antibody is IgG. If IgG is there, then we called it as what? Chronic hepatitis B infection. This is chronic hepatitis B infection. Okay. Now, see, if this hepatitis surface antigen is positive, along with this envelope antibody is present and IgG is there. This means this is a chronic inactive hepatitis B infection. This is chronic inactive infection. अब यहाँ पे देखो, यहाँ पे सरफेस एंटीजन पॉजिटिव था, एनवलप एंटीजन पॉजिटिव था और आईजीजी थी. ये क्या है? दिस इज अ एक्टिव chronic infection. This is active, and जब envelope antibody present होगी, then we called it as a inactive infection. So see, if the hepatitis B envelope antigen is positive along with the hepatitis E surface antigen and the IgG antibody, then we called it as a active infection. And अगर यहाँ पे hepatitis envelope antibody है, ये पॉजिटिव है, तो इसको हम इनएक्टिव इन्फेक्शन बोलते हैं. इनएक्टिव बिकॉज अभी वायरस का जो रेप्लिकेशन है वो कम हो चुका है. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज अ इनएक्टिव काइंड ऑफ इन्फेक्शन. नाउ सी, इफ यू सी दिस सरफेस एंटीबॉडी पॉजिटिव एंड all else are negative, then what is the case? This is a vaccinated case. I have told you, in case of vaccination, this surface antibody is positive. Okay. Now, second scenario is if this surface antibody is positive along with this core antibody, then it is a case of cured. It is a cured case. So you need to remember this table. Take a copy and pen and just write it again. बार बार इसको प्रैक्टिस करो तो ये आ जाएगा. और क्वेश्चन ज़्यादातर इसी एरिया से पूछे जाते हैं. सो मेक इट अ ट्रिपल स्टार ओवर दिस टेबल. ओके, सो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ये टेबल, बिल्कुल नहीं छोड़ना. नाउ we discuss about chronic hepatitis B infection. Chronic hepatitis B infection. Here, in case of chronic infection, you wanna see this hepatitis B surface antigen is positive for more than 6 months. अगर इन्फेक्शन मोर देन 6 मंथ से ज़्यादा है तो उसको हम क्रॉनिक इन्फेक्शन बोलते हैं. नाउ यहाँ पे जब आप माइक्रोस्कोपिक एग्जामिनेशन पे लिवर को देखोगे, व्हाट यू गोना फाइंड, देयर इज अ ग्राउंड ग्लास अपीयरेंस ऑफ हेपेटोसाइट. ग्राउंड ग्लास appearance of hepatocytes. See, और इस normal hepatocyte में ये क्या है? Nucleus, and in the cytoplasm these are the granules. So normal hepatocyte जो होता है इसमें क्या होता है? Granular cytoplasm is there. Granular cytoplasm. In case of नॉर्मल हेपेटोसाइट. ठीक है. अब जब क्रॉनिक हेपेटाइटिस बी इन्फेक्शन हुई तो क्या होगा? ये ग्रैनुलोसिटी जो है साइटोप्लाज्म की, उसका लॉस हो गया. नाउ सी दिस इज द hepatocyte. Now you can clearly appreciate this is a nucleus and now there is no granule in this hepatocyte. तो क्रॉनिसिटी की वजह से क्या हुआ, ये जो साइटोप्लाज्म था इसका ए ग्रैनुलर साइटोप्लाज्म हो गया. ग्रैनुलर साइटोप्लाज्म, जो भी ग्रैन्यूल्स थे उनका लॉस हो गया. सो दिस इज द हेपेटोसाइट्स ऑफ क्रॉनिक हेपेटाइटिस बी. Hepatocyte of chronic hepatitis B infection patient. Okay, now we're gonna discuss about the clinical features. What are the clinical features you're gonna see? So first clinical feature is nausea, vomiting. Nausea, vomiting is there. Third one is icterus. Icterus मतलब कि जो bile pigments है, they will go into the eyes and deposit there. So here third clinical feature is icterus. Now on examination, what you want to find on examination, the sclera is yellow in color. Sclera generally क्या होता है, white color होता है, but इस केस में क्या हो जाएगा, yellowing हो जाएगी sclera की. There is a yellowing of sclera. And this is what this is. Here you gonna see painful hepatomegaly. Painful hepatomegaly is there. Now what is the next step you gonna do in this case? So always see next step क्या होगा. कभी भी कोई पेशेंट आपके पास आता है, when on the examination findings और clinical finding में आपको ऐसे icterus ये सब मिलता है, तो next step what you gonna do, you have to do the LFT. See normally जो हमारे RBCs होते हैं, this is a normal RBC, इसका लाइफ स्पैन कितना होता है, 120 डेज का. ओके 120 डेज का इसका नॉर्मल लाइफ स्पैन है. अब ये RBC जाएगा स्प्लीन में और स्प्लीन इसको खत्म कर देगी बिकॉज इसका लाइफ साइकिल खत्म हो चुका है. दिस स्प्लीन विल डिस्ट्रॉय दिस आरबीसी, और आपको पता है जब आरबीसी डिस्ट्रॉय होगा तो उसमें से हीमोग्लोबिन जो है वो बाहर आ जाएगी. हीमोग्लोबिन के दो कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं. व्हाट आर टू कंपोनेंट्स? फर्स्ट कंपोनेंट इज हीम एंड अदर इज द ग्लोबिन कंपोनेंट. ग्लोबिन क्या है? इट इज अ प्रोटीन कंपोनेंट. ये दोबारा से कहाँ जाएगी? हिपैटोसाइट्स में. दिस ग्लोबिन कंपोनेंट विल गो टू हिपैटोसाइट. अब ये जो हीम कंपोनेंट है दिस विल कंबाइन विद प्रोटोपोरफायरिन. इट विल कंबाइन विद प्रोटोपोरफायरिन एंड ये क्या बनाएगा? एंड दिस विल फॉर्म व्हाट? Unconjugated bilirubin. This unconjugated bilirubin will combine with albumin. This will combine with albumin and ये कहाँ जाएगा? This will go into hepatocyte. This will go into hepatocyte. Now अब ये जो अनकॉन्जुगेटेड बिलिरुबिन विद एल्ब्यूमिन दिस विल गो इनटू हेपेटोसाइट. यहाँ पे क्या होगा? ये जो अनकॉन्जुगेटेड बिलिरुबिन है दिस विल बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू कॉन्जुगेटेड बिलिरुबिन वाया वन एंजाइम दैट इज UGT. We called it as a gluconosyl transferase enzyme. And ये कॉन्जुगेटेड बिलिरुबिन फर्दर कहाँ जाएगा? अब this will go into the gallbladder. This is our gallbladder. And ये यहाँ पे आके conjugated bilirubin store हो जाएगा. This will get stored here and जब इसकी ज़रूरत पड़ेगी ये gallbladder से release हो जाएगा via cystic duct. So got it? This is the basic mechanism how this bilirubin is gonna form. Now जब आपने इस patient का LFT किया अब सो ऑन LFT सी 3 चीज़ें होती है, 3 टाइप्स की जॉन्डिस होती है. फर्स्ट इज द हिपैटोसेलुलर जॉन्डिस, अदर इज ऑब्स्ट्रक्टिव जॉन्डिस एंड थर्ड वन इज द हिमोलिटिक जॉन्डिस. Hepatocellular jaundice due to hepatitis जो होगी, obstructive jaundice if there is a stone that can leads to jaundice, and hemolytic jaundice जो कि मैंने आपको पढ़ाया, in case of hemolytic anemias you can see this kind of jaundice. Now see, जब आपने LFT की तो what markers you gonna check on the LFT? First is serum bilirubin level you will see. Second is ALT or SGPT. This is alanine transferase. Then you gonna check aspartate transferase, or this is called as SGOT. And the last enzyme that you gonna check on LFT, that is alkaline phosphate. In case of hepatocellular jaundice, the levels of unconjugated bilirubin rises, whereas in case of obstructive jaundice there is rise of conjugated bilirubin, and in case of hemolytic jaundice there is rise of unconjugated bilirubin. Why there is a rise of conjugated bilirubin in case of obstructive jaundice? Because देखो गॉल ब्लैडर में क्या है, गॉल ब्लैडर में कॉन्जुगेटेड बिलिरुबिन है, बट अभी इस गॉल ब्लैडर में फॉर एग्जांपल स्टोन है, तो क्या होगा? सो यहाँ पे क्या है, स्टोन है. अब स्टोन है तो ये जो बाइल है यहीं पे एक्यूमुलेट होता रहेगा, बाहर नहीं जा पाएगा. तो एक टाइम आएगा ये ऐसे ही ब्लड में स्पिल हो जाएगा, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली गॉल ब्लैडर की कैपेसिटी है. तो इन दिस केस कौन सा बिलिरुबिन आपको एलिवेट देखने को मिलेगा? सो दैट इज कॉन्जुगेटेड वन. हिमोलिटिक के केस में क्या बताया मैंने? हिमोलिटिक के केस में अगर हिमोलिसिस ज़्यादा है, देखो अभी हिपैटोसाइट की भी एक कैपेसिटी है, ठीक है, बिकॉज एल्ब्यूमिन की क्वांटिटी लिमिटेड है, तो मैक्सिमम जितने भी एल्ब्यूमिन होंगे मैक्सिममली जितना भी एल्ब्यूमिन अवेलेबल है वो अनकॉन्जुगेटेड से बाइंड कर जाएगा. बट अगर हिमोलिसिस है तो अनकॉन्जुगेटेड बहुत ज़्यादा बनेगा और उतना एल्ब्यूमिन अभी अवेलेबल नहीं है, तो ब्लड में कौन से लेवल ज़्यादा दिखेंगे? दैट इज अनकॉन्जुगेटेड के लेवल ज़्यादा हो जाएंगे. अगर हम हेपेटोसेलुलर जॉन्डिस की बात करें तो इस केस में भी मेनली क्या, हेपेटाइटिस, लिवर ही प्रॉपरली फंक्शन नहीं कर रहा, ये एंजाइम ही नहीं है, जो ये यूजीटी एंजाइम था जो कन्वर्ट कर रहा था अनकॉन्जुगेट को कॉन्जुगेट में. अभी ऑब्वियसली लिवर का डिसफंक्शन है तो एंजाइम भी डिसफंक्शन होगा. तो इन दिस केस अगेन यू गोना सी विच बिलिरुबिन लेवल इंक्रीज, दैट इज अनकॉन्जुगेटेड बिलिरुबिन. अब अगर हम सेकेंड एंजाइम दैट इज एलानिन ट्रांसफेरेज की बात करें तो जर्नी ये सिर्फ हिपैटोसेलुलर जॉन्डिस में बढ़ेगा, बाकी दोनों में इट इज नॉर्मल. एंड if we talk about the aspartate transferase, ये भी hepatocellular jaundice में बढ़ेगा, बाकियों में it will be normal. because देखो अगर एंजाइम के साथ रिलेटेड है कुछ भी तो लिवर की दिक्कत है, वो समझ रहे हो, लिवर की दिक्कत की वजह से एंजाइम का लेवल बढ़ेगा, कम होगा. अभी ऑब्वियसली ऑब्स्ट्रक्टिव जॉन्डिस में क्या दिक्कत है, स्टोन की वजह से ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन है और हिमोलिटिक में ज़्यादा हिमोलिसिस है, तो इसका एंजाइम्स के साथ कोई कनेक्शन नहीं है. ओके, हिपैटोसेलुलर जॉन्डिस में देयर इज अ पैथोलॉजी ऑफ लिवर इटसेल्फ, फॉर दैट्स व्हाई यू गोना सी देयर इज अ इंक्रीज लेवल ऑफ दीज एंजाइम. इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द एल्कलाइन फॉस्फेटेज, सो ये नॉर्मल रहेगा हिपैटोसेलुलर जॉन्डिस में, और दूसरा इन केस ऑफ hemolytic jaundice. किस में बढ़ेगा ये? In case of obstructive jaundice, the level of alkaline phosphate increases. So this report of LFT you need to remember. Now, what about the texture of the liver in case of this hepatitis B infection? So liver texture, here you can see the liver got hardened. लिवर हार्ड हो जाएगा. ओके, फॉर द ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ एक्यूट हेपेटाइटिस बी वी विल यूज एंटी इमेटिक्स. सेकेंड, हियर यू कैन डू IV fluid therapy. And third, what you can suggest this patient? Bed rest. So this tactic you're gonna follow in case of acute hepatitis B treatment. If we talk about the chronic hepatitis B, So here we will use entecavir medication, or then you can use tenofovir. So दो मेडिकेशन हम यूज करेंगे, कौन कौन सी? एंटेकावीर एंड टीनोफावीर. ओके, this is how you going to treat the chronic hepatitis B patient. Now the next we will discussing about hepatitis C. So जो hepatitis C है, इसका जो incubation period है वो कितना है? Generally 4 to 40 weeks का. It is 4 to 40 weeks. And how this hepatitis C gonna spread? Here there is vertical transmission, horizontal transmission, and third is sexual. Vertical transmission पता है, mother to fetus. Horizontal via blood products, and sexual is from partner to partner. And C, hepatitis C की जो manifestation है ना, generally इसमें जो liver manifestation होगी hepatitis C में, liver manifestation generally ये बहुत late आपको देखने को मिलेगी. Liver manifestations लेट स्टेज पे होगा ये. नाउ अगर ये मैनिफेस्टेशन आपको बहुत देर से देखने को मिलेगी, सो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? दिस हेपेटाइटिस सी कैन प्रोग्रेस इनटू एंड स्टेज लिवर डिजीज. सो दिस कैन प्रोग्रेस इनटू एंड स्टेज लिवर डिजीज. एंड स्टेज लिवर डिजीज में व्हाट यू गोना सी, आइदर तो यहाँ पे हेपेटोसेलुलर कार्सिनोमा डेवलप हो जाएगा, सेकेंड either there is a development of liver cirrhosis. Got it? What is the end stage liver disease manifestations? यहाँ पे आपको कुछ एक्स्ट्रा hepatic manifestations भी देखने को मिलेंगी. Hepatic manifestations. In case of hepatitis C, what are those extra hepatic manifestations? First is the lichen planus. Second is the MPGN. Third one is the pain in joints. So these are the extra hepatic manifestation that you wanna see. यहाँ पे मैंने बोला there is one complication of hepatitis C, that is end stage liver disease. So end stage liver disease के क्या complications होंगे? So first you gonna see the pedal edema. Pedal edema is present. Second is ascites. Third is caput medusa. Fourth is esophageal varices. So these are the end stage liver disease manifestation. For this you can remember it like PACE. ये mnemonic याद रखो. This is PACE. By this you can remember the complication of end stage liver disease. Now what is the investigation of choice you gonna do here? That is, first you can do the PCR for hepatitis B virus. Second, you can do here enzyme immune assay for the detection of hepatitis C virus antibody, and PCR we do for hepatitis C virus for RNA. Okay. Now for the treatment, so what drug you wanna use here? That is ledipsavir. Okay. Now next we're gonna talk about hepatitis D virus. Hepatitis D. जनरली हेपेटाइटिस डी वायरस को हमने दो चीज़ों में क्लासिफाई किया है. वन इज़ द डिफेक्टिव हेपेटाइटिस डी एंड अदर वन इज़ द डिपेंडेंट हेपेटाइटिस डी वायरस. डिपेंडेंट. सो डिफेक्टिव जो हेपेटाइटिस डी वायरस है, दिस लैक्स सरफेस एंटीजन. इट लैक्स सरफेस एंटीजन, तभी हम इसको डिफेक्टिव बोलते हैं. एंड सो अगर इसके पास अपना एंटीजन नहीं है तो दिस कैन गेट डिपेंडेंट ऑन समथिंग एल्स फॉर हैविंग दैट एंटीजेनिक प्रॉपर्टी. नाउ इट कैन डिपेंड ऑन व्हाट? डिपेंड्स ऑन हेपेटाइटिस बी. डिपेंड्स ऑन हेपेटाइटिस बी. अब इसके बेसिस पे इट हैज़ been classified into two categories. First, if there is a co-infection. Co-infection मतलब हेपेटाइटिस डी की इन्फेक्शन है एक्यूट हेपेटाइटिस बी के साथ. If acute hepatitis B infection is present along with hepatitis D infection, we call it as a co-infection. And then there is one term that is superinfection. Superinfection means hepatitis D infection along with chronic hepatitis B infection. We call it as superinfection. And this superinfection can leads to increased risk of liver failure. Got it? Now the next hepatitis is hepatitis E virus. So जो hepatitis E virus है इसका incubation period कितना होता है जनरली 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, and how this virus is gonna spread? Spread is like same as hepatitis A virus, fecal-oral route. Okay, and this is a most common cause of what? Sporadic hepatitis in India. It is a most common cause of sporadic hepatitis in India. Okay, and it is a most common acute viral hepatitis. ओके, जनरली इसके अगर प्रोग्नोसिस की बात करें तो जनरली ओवरऑल प्रोग्नोसिस इसका बहुत अच्छा है. ओवरऑल प्रोग्नोसिस इज गुड. बट अगर कोई प्रेग्नेंट फीमेल है, प्रेग्नेंट फीमेल उसमें हेपेटाइटिस ई की इन्फेक्शन हो जाए, सो दिस कैन लीड्स टू इंक्रीज रिस्क ऑफ फुलमिनेंट हेपेटाइटिस. दिस विल इंक्रीज द रिस्क ऑफ fulminant hepatitis. Okay, on microscopic examination, what you gonna see? On microscopic examination, the liver is normal. Liver is normal. Now see, this is our liver. This is a portal triad. So here, this is what? These are the sinusoids. These are sinusoidal capillaries. Now here macrophages are present. In these sinusoids, what is present? Macrophages is present. Here there is a presence of stellate cells. Okay, and this is a space of Dizzy. This green color one is a space of Dizzy. Now they can ask you where you want to see this space of Dizzy. So that is present in liver. This is the stellate cell. These are hepatocytes. This is sinusoids. And here there is a portal triad. This is what? This is a portal triad. Okay, this is how the microscopic structure of the hepatocytes looks like. Now this stellate cell, they are nothing but the myofibroblast. And what this myofibroblast do? They will do repair. Okay, now microscopic examination of hepatitis. So here first you will see the Kupffer cell hyperplasia is there. Kupffer cells are what? Kupffer cells are the macrophages of the liver. So Kupffer cells hyperplasia. Second finding you're gonna see, there is a lymphocytic infiltration. Lymphocytic infiltration. Third one is the ballooning degeneration. Fourth, you're gonna see the apoptotic bodies, that is Councilman bodies. And fifth is spotty necrosis. So these findings are you're gonna see in case of hepatitis. Now next we're gonna discuss about the fulminant hepatitis. Fulminant hepatitis. Fulminant hepatitis में जो आपने चीज़ याद रखी, यहाँ पे जो liver failure है, it will occur in 4 to 6 weeks. And second, what is the etiology of this? Etiology. Etiology is most common cause of fulminant hepatitis is, and these toxins can be certain drugs like paracetamol or halothane. They can cause fulminant hepatitis. Then even hepatitis D can cause fulminant hepatitis, and this is a overall most common cause of fulminant hepatitis. Then second is hepatitis E. This can also leads to fulminant hepatitis, but mainly in the pregnant females only. Hepatitis E virus can cause fulminant hepatitis in pregnant females. Now, if we talk about the clinical features, what you gonna see? Here, severe jaundice is present. Severe jaundice. Okay. Then bleeding is there. Why bleeding is there? Due to coagulation factor defect. Okay. And you're gonna see anencephalopathy. Okay. And there are symptoms called as FADU symptoms. You can remember by this mnemonic. FADU symptoms. What are these FADU symptoms? F stands for flapping tremors. Here you want to see flapping tremors. A is for anomic aphasia. Then here this A stands for anomic apraxia. D stands for disorientation. And U stands for unconsciousness. Okay. Now for the diagnosis, you can do LFT, and on LFT what you gonna see, the ALT or AST is gonna increase. Okay. And if we talk about the ammonia level, what happens to ammonia level? Ammonia levels also increase. And when ammonia levels are increased, this is the investigation of choice for fulminant hepatitis. What about the coagulogram? Coagulogram. So this coagulogram is dearranged. That's why you're going to see the coagulation defect here. And then how you gonna treat this condition? For the treatment, we will give ammonia binders because ammonia is more now, so we have to decrease the level of ammonia, and then we can give ammonia binders like lactulose. And second one is what? L-ornithine L-aspartate. You can give L-ornithine L-aspartate. Ornithine L-aspartate. Okay, for the treatment. Second, you can use antibiotic here. Antibiotics. Antibiotic क्या करेगा? It will decrease the gut bacteria. Third, you can give fresh frozen plasma because the clotting factors are decreased, so you can give this fresh frozen plasma. This is how you gonna treat this patient medically. Now you can also go for the surgical treatment, and surgical treatment में हम क्या करेंगे? liver transplant कर देंगे. अब liver transplant करने के लिए there is one score. It is based on one score. That score is called as MELD score. MELD score. If you want to do the liver transplant, that is based on the MELD score, and generally हम तभी करेंगे liver transplant if the MELD score is more than 40. So what does this MELD score contain? MELD score में क्या क्या components आते हैं? Just remember this mnemonic, that is CBI. Here C stands for serum creatinine. B stands for bilirubin, and I stands for INR. INR क्या है? It is International Normalized Ratio. Generally हम INR कब check करते हैं? If there is any clotting disorder, then we used to check INR. So ये 3 component आते हैं MELD score के अंदर. Now next we gonna discuss about the autoimmune hepatitis.